Hello class, this is 3D Applications, the skull, and what we're going to do is we've started off yesterday or the day before we did this. We did the profile, and the easy thing about the profile is that all the points happen along one plane. That one plane, if you think of this, it's almost like a drawing. It doesn't have any dimension. So today we're going to give it dimension by doing this. And what that means is we're going to locate points now that don't all just fall into one plane, but that fall inside the head here, which means we have to measure it in not just in two ways, height and width, but we're going to have to go height, depth, and width here, okay? So that's what we're going to do today. Find these points. They're going to be L, K, M, H, and I guess that is there. So as I look at the skull, and as you look at this skull here, you will see that this point L is actually right along the spinal column, so we can put this thing right here. And what I'm going to do is make a little measurement from here down. I'm going to measure to here, like that, and I'm going to make a measurement mark here. And now I'm going to take a stick. I'm going to get my length. And since everything's symmetrical, everything's going to be pretty much in the middle, because we're going down our center axis here. So here we go. Along this, we're going to tack that. Those 2 points there are now these 2 points. Next, we're going to deal with let's do point K. K is actually going to be here. These two points at the brow, which are here. So first of all, we're going to get height, just like we did last time, and this is going to be 6 3/4 inches. It's going to be right there. So that's the height. The depth is going to be 3 inches ahead of the center of the center line. So 3 inches is going to be here. And those are the 2 dimensions, and the third dimension is this, the K dimension, K to K. So there it is. We're going to put this in the middle once again. And we're going to put this across here. So now we're going to find point M. Point M is the widest part in the head. It's actually over here. It's those 2 points there that we're looking for. So that's that point. M is going to be about 6 1/4 inches high. 6 1/4 right there. And it's about 1/2 inch behind the center line there, which with this thickness is going to be right about there. That's going to be close enough. So now we're going to take this, and that's going to be our width. We're going to do point H next. And H is actually up here. This is going to be point H. After that, we're going to do point N, which is going to be the cheekbone here, which is right in front. That is why on the front view, point H and point N look to be the same. But on the side view, point H, the top of the jaw is here, and point N, the cheekbone is here. Okay? So now we're going to measure the height. Again, we always start with the height. That seems to be the best way. 5 1/2 inches. So we got 5.5 inches there, and it's about a little more than it's about half an inch in front of the center line, and H to H is going to be this much here. So there's our mark, and a half inch in front of the center line. This will be close enough. We are now going after point N. That's the cheekbone right here and right there. This length here, or this width rather, that we want to put in here actually falls somewhere in between here, so we can't rest it on any of the structure we have already. So we're going to have to put something in here. So first of all, we're going to look at this and going to say its point N is 3¼ inches ahead of the center line, which is going to be right there. Let's see how high up it is. It's 5¾ high. So this is about 4¾ or a little bit less. So we want to come up an inch. So we're gonna take a little stick and make a little 1-inch strut. That's I think I'm going to make this a little bit lower. So our last point in the width department here is going to be point I, which is the jawbone, the corner of the jaw. We're looking for this point here, and that point there is marked I, and it is sitting about a half an inch or a little bit more from center line. So with this, I think that we're probably going to want to come out a little bit here, but first we're going to measure the height. And that height is about 3 1/8. So we're going to put it there. And I think we want to put it out a little bit. So I'm gonna take and bring this out just a little bit here. That. And now I'm going to take my width like that. And do the usual here. Okay, so this is for now. This is what we're all the points we're going to do for now. And you want to notice one thing, that what we're really after here is not all these sticks. We're after just these points. And once we start to actually form the head, we're probably going to cut out a lot of these things because we don't really need the sticks. They're really just there so that we can find these points. For now, for the first time, we're going into shape, and we're going to use our points here and there, but we're going to concentrate on shape. So we're going to do some of the skull some of the skull shape. So I'm going to knock off the end of that. Put a blob of glue on the end here. And tack this on. Now, we want this to be a fairly strong tack, so I'm going to wait a little bit, and I'm going to put another tack over here. And before you do this, you're going to consult the pictures that I sent you, and you're going to see, look at the skull from the top. can see what the shape of that skull is. Okay, so if you look at it from there, it's looking possibly a little pointy. Once again, if you look at this guy here, I really can't move him, but there's kind of relatively straight lines here that then start to curve. So here we sort of got that, but I think I can change that a little bit by pushing this in now. So I've tacked it here, here, and here. Now, since these are holding, I actually want to move this one, and I'm going to re-tack it and reposition it so it changes the profile a little bit. So I'm just going to bring that up a little bit, and I'm going to bring this into play. That's looking a little more like what we want here. Now this we can knock some of that off, and now we can see what this might look like. So looking over at my skull, I see that it's a little bit wider. The skull at the top is a little wider over here, although I think we can actually dispense with that kind of accuracy under these field conditions here. So we're gonna do this, and it gets a little easier once the structure starts to starts to have integrity. Do that there, and this maybe about like that. Okay, I think we will do one more arc here, and I'm actually going to look for this shape of the skull over here. We're gonna want this, and if you notice here that what happens here, the wide part of the skull is here, and then it starts to go in. Now if we went this way, we would go out to that last point we did, the widest point, but I think what we want to do is we want to come down here and anchor our arc to the top of the jawline. So essentially that's what we'll be doing, is coming down to here. That's that point, the top of the jaw. We're going to come in from here and go around like that. Okay folks, this just about wraps it up for today, and we're going to continue this tomorrow. Good luck with it. I'm sure you're going to do fine.